everybody, what's up? Long time no freaking see for me. I have just gotten back from Southeast Asia, well, a week ago, and I went to Thailand and Cambodia, and then I ran out of money, so I had to come back to Australia. And I've now moved to Melbourne. All the Canadians I've met that live in Australia have told me to call it Melbourne or else people will laugh in my face. So if you guys have been here for a little while, you know that throughout my YouTube career, I have taken the camera with me and vlogged as I've gone to different places. When I went to Sydney for the first time with Scott, I wanted the camera there. But this time was different. In Thailand, I was in a country where I didn't really feel like pulling the camera out all that much. I did have it with me. And I don't know if it's just me trying to be in the moment now more, or the fact that I was with people whom at sometimes I wasn't sure if they wanted to be on camera or whatever, that's fine. And so basically I kept the camera in its case and I lived. I even bought a journal, which was gonna be one of these things in this haul. I bought a journal there because I was thinking, I'm not even chronicling what I'm doing whatsoever. I'm not opening up the camera. I don't have a journal with me. It's all like totally banged up. And I tried really, really hard to write in it, and I did a little bit. Like, I didn't even start writing in this till 2 weeks in. So really quick, I was in Thailand for 4 weeks and Cambodia for 1 week. In Thailand, I flew into Phuket and then went to Koh Phangan, Koh Tao, back to Phuket, then Koh Phi Phi, then Krabi, then flew into Siem Reap, which is in Cambodia, and then went to Phnom Penh in Cambodia, then flew from Phnom Penh back into Melbourne. So the whole time I was traveling with my friend Meg. We spent one night in Phuket, whatever, and then we decided to take a bus to Koh Phangan, which is where they have the full moon party. Have you guys ever heard of the full moon party? It's crazy. It is where people go to get fucked. Like in every way possible, but really off drugs and alcohol. People go nuts. We took a bus there, and in Thailand, a bus, unless it's like a VIP bus, it's a minibus, and you're crammed in there with a whole bunch of other travelers, and it's so hot. A lot of the times, they will stop you over into this place that will give you food that has like flies flying around and stuff like that, but the food probably won't make you sick. You'll probably be fine. But I have an insane fear of getting food poisoning. So going to that right away, I was like, I'm not gonna get anything. I'm just gonna get the junk food that's in the back, which was not a good idea. Anyway, I went to also go pee, and their toilets are not like a regular toilet. You have to squat. You don't have toilet paper. All that's in the room is like this ceramic hole with like footholds in the floor and a hose, and then a bucket filled with water and a bowl, like an empty bowl sitting in the water. So what you have to do is you have to pull down your pants, balance yourself, squat down as if you're like really drunk and peeing in a field, and you have to pee into the hole. And then after you're done, you spray yourself with the hose, and you don't wipe yourself with toilet paper unless you have it, which most people do not. So you just let yourself drip dry, and then you take the empty bowl with the water and you scoop it into the water, which is hopefully clean. And if you need to, you know, not just pee, then you're out of luck. I mean, you could do that in the hole, but you can try. So we finally got into Koh Phangan. We got into this fantastic room, and the room did not have any air conditioning. It was this teeny tiny room. And then the view of a million mystical lands. It was beautiful. It was so excellent. There, I bought 2 shirts. I don't know where one of them is. It's this like white rainbow. It's like a white with rainbow striped shirt, and it said full moon party or something on it. I bought that to wear afterwards, but the one that I wore on the full moon party is this one. The thing about Koh Phangan is the night before the full moon party, we had met some really cool people, and we all decided to go and try magic mushroom shakes because we wanted to see what it was like. They also smoke weed a whole bunch in Thailand. I'm pretty sure it's legal. It's gotta be legal. They sell it behind the bar. They don't even give a shit. Basically, they give you lots of drugs if you want them, and also like balloons full of nos. So we did a lot of that kind of stuff the night before the full moon party because we wanted to see how it was gonna affect us, and we just basically wanted to test Test out the waters. The magic mushroom shakes cost $20, which equals 500 baht. Really, for all we know, it could have been a complete placebo effect. They could have just ground up real mushrooms from the grocery store and put them in, and we would have been like, man! But the one thing that did happen to me is I think I hallucinated. There was this one time where we were getting off this like balcony thing, going down the stairs, and I went to approach the place where the stairs go down, and to me I thought it was a pool of water, so I was like going up to it to like jump in to the pool of water, but really it was air, like it was space with stairs. And as I was walking up, I was like, oh my god, it's air! And I freaked out a little bit. But that could have been just because I was drunk. So anyway, the night before was really fun, and we all partied like friggin' mad, and we danced the night away. It was so much fun. The night of the full moon party, I don't really remember most of it. I had 2 big Chang beers, and then I had a bucket. What I had heard from other tourist sites is to not really buy buckets because a lot of times in Southeast Asia, to stretch their alcohol, they put other stuff in the bucket other than drinking alcohol, such as methylated spirits and shit like that. It can make you really sick, it can kill you. I had read this one story about a Canadian backpacker who went to Koh Phangan, which is exactly what I did, and she bought a bucket with gin and tonic, and what they did is they poured metho into her bucket, and she went blind and then died. So I had heard about that, and I was like, okay, I'm so not buying a bucket unless I can choose and see them pour a little mini sealed bottle into a bucket. That way I'll be safe, right? No, wrong. We got these cool glowy tattoo things all the way down our arm, and while my friends were still getting theirs done, I went to go get a bucket because I was like, I should be fine. I will pick responsibly. And I go to one of the booths, and there's just a line of booths up on the beach. I picked this one who's like, hi lady, come here, and they want to give me a high five, and I'm like, yeah, hey, what's up? And they have all of these pre-organized buckets that you can choose from. And so usually what they do is when you choose a bucket, they're like, oh, so you want vodka and blah, blah, blah. They'll pull it behind the bar table thing, and then they have big bottles of alcohol behind there, and they'll use that poured in, give you your bucket, and what you think you've gotten is the actual items that you've chosen, but you haven't. So, and I knew that they did that. So what I did is I said, I want this bucket. I want this Smirnoff bottle and these things of juice and all that kind of stuff. They put that in with the Red Bull that they have in Thailand, which is crazy. And I had that before, so that wasn't what made me sick. And I drink it, it tasted fine, it tasted good. I couldn't tell the difference. We met heaps of people in the hour following, and then all of a sudden I was really, really sick. Like it just, I don't even remember feeling like I was gonna be sick. I don't remember sitting down on the beach, on the shore, with my head like into the tide. I don't remember doing that. Like I remember seeing that, but I don't remember actually getting down. I don't know what happened from point A to point B. Meg was with me the whole time. Thank God. I was throwing up like mad. This was not food poisoning. This was nothing else. Nothing else could explain it. Meg even told me the next day that she had never seen someone throw up that much from alcohol ever, and that there was clearly something in my drink. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense because I chose the bottle. That doesn't make any sense. I'm throwing up and everything, and she goes, okay, Geneva, try to get up, because I had thrown up for I don't even know how long, and everyone was passing by. No one was as sick as me, as far as Meg could see, and they were passing by and they're like, oh my god, is she okay? And then, so I tried to get up, and she's like helping me along the beach, and I remember stopping and just, I kept throwing up while I'm standing up. And so she just has her hand on my back while she's like talking to other people, because obviously like I have totally hindered her night. She's still being a total friend to me, completely taking care of me, but she's like talking to other people, and she's like rubbing my back. She's like, okay, okay. And there's this one really nice guy who tied my hair back or held my hair back while she went to go get something. And then so we had to walk down the boardwalk up to our room. And this boardwalk is gorgeous. It was as if my brain shut off. She gets me into the room, she turns the shower on, I completely get naked. And she sticks me in the shower and she's like, "Hey, Geneva, I don't want you to die while I go back." Because obviously she's gonna go back. It was like, I don't even know what time it was. It was early on in the night. And she was like, "Geneva, what are you gonna do when you decide to go to bed?" And then I have my head down in the shower, like sitting on the floor. And I was like, "I'm gonna turn the shower off and dry off and go to bed." And she was like, "Good, so you're not gonna drown?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna drown, Meg." Anyway, so that's what happened that night. The next day, we talked to our friend Nick, who we had befriended so much that he actually decided to spontaneously get a room beside us. And he had mentioned that before the full moon party, he had seen the booths putting their own seals on the mini bottles. And I had thought it was sealed and I thought it was safe. And just so that they could stretch their alcohol, I was put into, like, whatever went in my body came straight back out, but it could have easily harmed me, and that's what pisses me off is, like, anyway. That was the worst part of the whole Thailand trip, was the actual full moon party. The day before that was excellent. Man, this is gonna be a long video. I'm just gonna speed this up. We took a bus and a ferry to Koh Tao after 3 nights in Koh Phangan. And Koh Tao was friggin' awesome. We ended up jumping from a really hot, crowded room to a really spacious, nice, air-conditioned room. But at that place, there was a lot of shopping going on and waxing and massages and all that kind of stuff, and it was excellent. And you learn to, like, barter with people. You have to. When you're going shopping, people will be like, they'll come up to you and they'll ask you to play a game with them. And if they win, then you owe them $4, which is 100 baht. Or when you're shopping and you ask how much something is, and they're like, "Oh, 800 baht. And you're like, "No, 200 baht. And they're like, "No." They're like, okay, 600 baht. And you just have to keep going. And if you get to a point where they're like, "No, you can leave," then you take their offer. Or if it's just cheap enough, then you're like, "Okay, 150 baht, that's fine." That's like $6 for a bathing suit. Meg and I went scuba diving and we got this awesome day course thing, and we had these bomb instructors who, like, it was a one-on-one thing. There were literally 2 instructors and 3 of us. There was me, Meg, and this girl named Janine from Germany. And it was excellent. It was such a good frickin' day. It was one of the best days of my life. We paid 2,000 baht for the original day, but we could pay an extra 800 baht to go on a whole nother dive that was deeper, and it lasted longer than the first dive. So we did that, and it was so excellent. And I wish Meg was back from Asia at this point, because she has a GoPro that we took underwater. Lord knows you will see a whole bunch of pictures pop up on my Instagram as soon as she comes back. Oh yeah, in Koh Tao, I bought this shirt. They have a lot of things that are monogrammed with stuff that they don't know. They don't know what it means. We'll get back to that later. They also have a lot of beer and alcohol related clothing. This is skin tight. You don't really try stuff on, you just kind of buy it and you just barter with them and you see what's what. I also got other stuff, but I can't find them. I don't know where they went. Some things have ripped, some things I have lost. Some things, without thinking, I have packed in my suitcase that I am about to send to Canada that is still in rural Victoria. So after that, we went to Phuket again. We went there because we were planning on going to Koh Phi Phi. Koh Phi Phi is the place that you go to if you want to take a day trip to Maya Beach, which is where they filmed the movie The Island with Leonardo DiCaprio. Anyway, we went to go to Phuket for one night to go to Koh Phi Phi. But in Phuket, we met up with one of Meg's friends, Kate. And then we also met heaps of other people in this sick freaking hostel. It's now my favorite hostel that I've ever been at. This one just had everything. It had excellent people, it had air conditioning, it had free Wi-Fi, it had its own kitchen, it had its own lounge room with like hundreds of DVDs with a pull-down projector screen. It had a pool up on the roof. It provided me one of the best experiences traveling in my life because we had met so many great friends. We met there, and then Meg and I decided to stay until the whole group was leaving for Koh Phi Phi because we got there, I don't even know when we got there, on a Tuesday, and everyone else was like, dude, we're going to CoPP too, but we're going on Friday. And Meg and I were thinking about this, and we were like, why are we leaving tomorrow anyway? We're having a really good time here. We literally have nothing planned. We could just change our plans, book 2 more nights, and then leave on Friday. So then we did. And then all of us became this like great group that just like fed off each other, and it was the best time. This hostel that I'm talking about is called Fin, F-I-N. So if you ever go to Phuket in Thailand, even if you want to stay there for one night because there's like a connecting flight or connecting ferry or something like that, stay at Fin. It's excellent. And in Phuket, they have this one strip where everyone is really drunk, and it's almost as if you're walking into like a Thai Las Vegas. There are people who are coming up and they're like basically harassing you with like signs, and they're like, come to the ping pong show and come over here, do you need a tuk-tuk? And by ping pong show, they mean strippers who will shoot ping pong balls out of their vagina. And we learned that the hard way. There were some ladies who were totally bold and they were doing their own thing, but they would like shoot darts out of their vagina, and you would have to hold a balloon and they would like shoot it and pop the balloon. They also, I know this is cruel, they put a live bird up their vagina and also a live turtle. And why can't I think of the last one? At different times, and they shoot them out of the vagina into a cup of water. Okay, so we went from Phuket to Koh Phi Phi. I hope you guys aren't sick of hearing my voice. And in Koh Phi Phi, well, actually in all Thai places, they have a fire show where they have kids, 6-year-olds up to 25-year-olds that have these crazy batons that they light on fire, and all of these swinging, I don't know what they're called, like swinging fireballs and shit like that. And they also have a jump rope that they light on fire, and you can jump rope with it if you feel like almost dying. Because if anyone messes it up, it's on fire. It will fall on your head, it'll burn you. I've seen way too many burn from the flaming jump rope. And they also have flaming limbo. They have all that kind of stuff. In Koh Phi Phi, it was a big thing because Koh Phi Phi is such a party place. People go there to basically relive like a Thailand, the college years. So this, I actually got 2 bracelets. I'm not even gonna show you one of them because it's so unbelievably inappropriate. I can't. This is inappropriate too, so watch your eyes. Oh no, maybe I got this in Phuket. I don't know. Whatever, they have these everywhere. They don't know really how bad some of their monogrammed bracelets that they sell are. They had monogram bracelets that said, I heart rape. And they had the C word everywhere. So I'm just gonna show this to you. Loose. Yeah. They have things that are way worse than this. My friends and I all decided to buy these for each other. None of them are good. This is a gross term, but you just buy it, you live with it. They don't know really how bad it is. They just do it because it causes shock for us, and we're like, oh yeah, we gotta buy that because that's ridiculous. But yeah, in Koh Phi Phi, I bought a bathing suit. It's super bright and great. And there's a bottom to it as well, but I don't know where that is. This is probably the worst haul ever. But I also got a tattoo. Our group at this point was with 6 people, and the first girl, Kate, when she was drunk, she got a tattoo. She got an elephant on her back shoulder. And what they do is they tattoo with bamboo sticks. It's like a really sharp bamboo thing, and they like literally tap it into you. But yeah, so she came back, she got that, she showed all of us when we were all hungover, and she's like, guys, look at this. And we're all like, what the like, what? You got a tattoo? Like, what the fuck? But it looked really, really good. And so then we all just kind of like kept talking about it. And then Meg got something in her ear pierced. And then a lot of us were just like, man, what if we got something done? Like, what if we got a piercing or like a tattoo or something? This was totally spontaneous. And then my friend Lewis and I were like seriously considering getting tattoos. And then we did. Are you ready? Bam! Do you see? I mean, you probably see. It's 5 mantras that they live by in Thailand. Roughly translated into English are: you will be treated by others with great loving kindness and compassions, luck and good fortune, protection against danger including evil spirits, improve your destiny, fate, This will give you charm and increase your popularity and attractiveness. I got that and it was fucking painful. It was real ridiculous because one of them is like, the longest one is straight down my spine, but it was awesome. So Lewis and I both got tattoos. He got like a miniature version of this one with only 3 lines on the back of his ankle. And then on the same night, our friend Adam got his nose pierced. And then 2 days later, or 1 day later, I think it was 1 day later, our friend Magdalena, she got one of these right down the side of her, and she was shaking, and like we were feeding her cigarettes while she was doing it. It was one of the best times because we all did it. All 6 of us, we got modified. I posted it on Facebook and my mom was like, "Looks great, honey. Beware of groupthink." I'm like, "Mom, stop. Stop it, Mom." Then after CoPP, we went to Krabi. We went to Krabi as a group again. We just basically, we had spent so much money and so we had partied so much in CoPP that we kind of took a break in Krabi. We went to this great hostel and it was such crappy weather that we didn't really do anything until nighttime, and we would all go out and drink and eat food and just have a great old time, and it was great. And then the next morning we would be hungover.
Chivas, whiskey.
I'm gonna miss you, Geneva. I'm glad I'm back.
You glad you're back?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. I love you. Ronnie.
In the brief time I've got to know Miss Switzerland, it's been a pleasure, and she's a fantastic rapper as well.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and I wish her all the luck.
This is Kate.
Hi. She's okay. Like, at best. She's a friend, which is nice, but at the same time you're like, do you want to shag me? Because you clearly do.
Wow.
So, just tell me. Switzerland is a lovely country, and I'm glad that Geneva is a part of it. Cassandra is such a woman. Cassandra is a party animal. And I love her at best. Cassie, it's been distinctly average.
I fucking hate you, but I love you. Alright, Lewis.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I feel like I'm a white boy MC. Lyrically, you can't test me. We just got to pick one word that rhymes, and we can just go from there. So maybe like Mary. Let's go for Mary.
Okay.
Mary likes blueberry and she's hairy. Was that good?
That was real good.
That was fly, right?
That's super fly.
Dope.
What is that thing in your hair?
Cassie's a good egg.
I met Geneva, and at first I didn't believe Geneva was her real name.
You didn't?
No.
I didn't know that.
I'm like, Geneva, sure. Like, there must be a story like that relates to Geneva, the city. And I'm just like, yep, that will be why she's called Geneva. But no, that's her real name. But I only found that out. This is bad. But I only found that out because you added me on Facebook. It was like, Geneva sent you a friend request. I was like, oh shit, like that's actually your name?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dissing it, but like I've never met anyone in my life.
No, it's alright. I do not take it as offense whatsoever.
Yeah, Lewis was saying like, oh yeah, this is Ginny, but don't call her Jenny. And I was like, oh yeah, Jenny's a real name, like, you know.
We've had some pretty deep chats. It's been good. I've enjoyed some of my deep chats with Cassie.
Cassie, I hate you guys. Okay.
Good old Cassie from Geneva.
I have never been drunk so many days in a row as I have in this Asia trip. Like, never in my life. This was like 5 weeks straight of alcohol every day. In Krabi, the only really big trip that we did was we all rented a car and 2 scooters. And we drove to this one green lagoon thing, which was cool, but it was lackluster because there were so many kids there and blah, blah, blah. It was cool, it was in a really beautiful place, but then after that, we went to hot springs and it was absolutely gorgeous. So, I know I'm not filming much in Thailand, but I reckon this is gonna go inserted in a video where I'm talking about it or something. Look where I am. This is a hot spring between 40 and 50 degrees. Look at this. Look at that. Everybody say hi. You're on video. See on the flip side. And then we all went back to Phuket for a couple days, and then Meg and I flew to Cambodia, and everyone just kind of like split up. We all just yeah, we had to do our own thing. So Meg and I flew into Siem Reap. I'm lying. We flew into Phnom Penh and then we did Siem Reap. It was a totally different feel there. It was like completely poverty stricken. More than Thailand. At least Thailand has the whole tourist thing going for it. With Cambodia, you have to, it is a tourist place, but you have to be careful with your stuff. We didn't know that. We were idiots when we first came there in relation to what we know now. I had this camera out. It was like wrapped around my hand, like it had the strap thing, and then she had her phone out and everything like that. We had all of our bags and our purses just all up in the tuk-tuk, obviously. It didn't occur to us that things could get swiped from us. We didn't realize that until we got to our hostel, which was also a really great hostel. And then we met these people in the room who had one person in their group have his phone swiped by someone on a scooter who swiped it out of his hand. It was an iPhone 6. And he went to run after this guy and he was so close to catching him, but he was running so fast that he basically like completely wiped out and scraped like the whole side of his body. And then we met someone else who had his phone swiped, and then I met someone whose girlfriend had her phone try to be swiped. The guy, like, he came up on a scooter, tried to steal her phone out of her hand, failed, punched her in the face so that she would drop her phone, but she didn't. He tried to take it again, he failed, and then he drove away. And we were like, what the fuck? We just spent so much time just like filming everything. But in Phnom Penh, they had the killing fields and the genocide museum and the royal palace, I think is what it's called. And the killing, it's all about the genocide that happened in Cambodia in like 1976 to 1979. I'm pretty sure that's when it happened. Most people don't know what happened. It's like the most horrific thing, and I didn't take my camera to the killing fields or the genocide museum because you just do it out of respect. A lot of people brought their good cameras, but I'm not just gonna like pull my phone out and like, you're walking and it was a really hot day and you get your own like personal audio thing that's hanging from your neck, and every time you get to each place in the killing fields, you press 1 or 2 or 3, whatever, and you have a person explain to you where you are, what happened here. And there are literally bones and fabric from dead bodies that keep surfacing. They have people going every week to collect the bones. It was just like a friggin' sight to see. I'm so glad we saw that. I'm so glad we went to Phnom Penh because of that, because that was one of the most jarring things I've ever seen in my life. The Genocide Museum has one of the biggest camps, if you will, where they killed people, and you'd walk into the rooms and there would be like bed frames where people were tortured. And so we had just done that, so going to the Royal Palace afterwards was really kind of, we were so tired and emotionally exhausted from the whole day that like we did the Royal Palace pretty quickly. After that, we took a bus to Siem Reap. We ended up going to this sick hostel. What was it called? It's called Funky Flashpackers Hostel. They have this big pool in the middle of everything, and it was like this like stacked high hostel in like a U shape. They had like blasting music. It was definitely a party hostel. That one was so much fun. Man, I miss Southeast Asia. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I also got this shirt in Thailand, and I got this pair of pants when we went to Angkor Wat in Siem Reap. Angkor Wat it's like a mass of temples. You can take the long way, which will bring you sunrise to sunset. You're there the whole day, but I don't even know anyone who did that one because you're so exhausted. We did the short one, which is still 5.5 hours long, and you go to Angkor Wat at sunrise, so you're up at 4:30, and you just like take this journey. You have a tuk-tuk for the day, and you pay him like $20, and he was so great. And we went everywhere around. Oh man, he was so great. I have a clip of him. Yes, I have a clip of him.
Excellent.
Okay, cool.
If I lose you, I will find you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Tomorrow.
See you soon. And while we were waiting with him, he was like, what are you guys doing tomorrow? And I was like, I'm going to the airport tomorrow. And I was like, do you want to take me? And he was like, yes, thank you for using my services. And I was like, thank you for being such a nice human. Anyway, when we were in Angkor Wat, you have to have pants on, and Meg and I didn't think of that. We did not have pants on, so we had to buy pants. I bought these. And I also bought these like dark blue ones that ripped. And I don't know where they are. And these ones also ripped right in the crotch. This is what I get for doing heaps of squats, is that just nothing will fit my ass or my thighs, and just that's my life. Look at that. So I have to sew this back up. But yeah, Angkor Wat was amazing, and I can't possibly like go into detail about every single thing that I did in Asia, because like I didn't even know what I was going to be talking about in this video, because I'm like, man, how do I even begin to talk about Asia? Okay, if you guys have questions or what have you about Southeast Asia, I mean, I'll try to answer them, but really, there are plenty of things that I've probably already forgotten to talk to you guys about. So yeah, I love you guys a lot, and I'll see you all next Thursday with an actually thought out video. Alright guys, bye!